Okay, so this video is going to be about making wreaths out of wild grapevines, which grow pretty well here in Kentucky, actually. We have them in most people's yards and fences and places where, any place where it can vine up and grow, really. They're all over the place. In fact, they're kind of a nuisance to some people. It just so happens that we have one growing on the fence behind where the buses are parked at the bus compound where I work. So I have driven up here on a Sunday. It's a 4-day weekend because of Election Day. There's no one here to bug me. However, there is like a football game or something going on here at the high school. So we're just going to try to ignore that. So anyway, I'm going to show you the grapevine. There it is. That's a lot of vine, so I'll probably be able to make several large wreaths out of that. However, it is going to be rather labor intensive to tear it down. So, you want to make sure you have the right tools for a project like this. First and foremost, you want to have a good pair of gloves. This will protect your hands from getting scratched and cut and splinters and everything else. So, also you will need a pair of clippers to clip the smaller vines. You'll need a pair of loppers for the heavier vines. And I recommend having a small rake so you can reach up to high places to pull vines down that are out of reach. And you will need plastic trash bags in which to place your vines so that they don't make a mess. And it definitely helps to lay down a rug like I have in the back of your car or your truck or whatever you drive to protect it from any debris. And, of course, lastly, like I have, you will need a good pair of glasses or something to protect your eyes, because these bits and pieces of debris from the vine can fall and get in your eye, and it's really unpleasant. So, and if you want to cover your hair, then wear a bandana, because it will get in your hair too. So, all right. I'm going to go get started, and then when I think I've reached a spot where I want to show you guys something, I'll get back with you again. So, alright. Oh, that was quite a workout. I got a big portion of the vine down. Well, actually kind of a small portion, because it's actually a huge vine. And there's tons of foliage, and it's really, really woven into the fence really, really good. And I'm going to have to stop because I don't think I can fit any more in my car. And there's still a great deal of vine left, but here, let me show you. That nice pile there, and then it kind of extends over here. And I have to stop. I just can't deal with it anymore. I'll get several wreaths just out of this, but here's how much vine is still left. And I'm just going to show you guys... Shit, sorry. I'm just going to show you guys how thick this vine actually is. Okay, here's my wrist. Here's my wrist, and here's one of the vines. And then there's down there at the base. That's easily as big around as like my legs, like down near my ankles. Easily. So, and it's taken over this tree over here. You can see it's gone up into the tree and it's taken over. So, and I think someone's about to come over here and be nosy, so I'm going to shut this off for a few minutes in case they come over here and act like an asshole. Oh, and I did want to say that you want to, when you're tearing down the vine, you want to start from work your way from the outside in, and then when you reach a point where it's too thick to pull down anymore, you just lop it. Because if you start in the middle and try to work your way out, you're going to be dealing with thick vines that are like really, really woven into where you're pulling them from. So it's a little easier. And also, what I said about eye protection is a definite must, because even with sunglasses on, I could feel bits and pieces of... Oh, my forehead's nasty. Yeah, there's like little bits and pieces of like vine dirt and debris all over my face, and some of it actually did get into my eye. I had to take my glasses off and take my gloves off and get it out, but... It's extremely, extremely unpleasant. So, yeah, so alright, the next step is to actually start making wreaths and then to let you guys in on my secrets for that. I definitely recommend putting this stuff into your car as you cut it down, rather than cutting it down, making a huge ass pile, and then going, okay, I think I'll try to fit it in my car now. And there is the rest of the pile. Because once your car is full, then you know to stop. So, yeah. I feel really stupid right now, but you know what? We learn these things. I mean, no such thing as the perfect artist or perfect art. We make mistakes and we move along and we carry those mistakes and learn from them. As should you. So, anyway, moving on. Well, it's a good thing I laid a rug down in my car. I'm not looking forward to having to clean this up. Of course, the rug, I can just pick it up and shake it, but like all this other crap down in here, yeah, I gotta vacuum. But look at these lovely curly cues. I want to keep them. I don't know what to do with them. Oh, I guess I'll just incorporate them into one of my wreaths, I guess. So, and here's all the little piles in the driveway. They look like little twisties or little nests of angel hair pasta. Now I'm thinking about food. Okay. Ugh, yuck. Okay, it's time to get started actually making a wreath. So excited. I'm going to give you first an overview of the things that you will need. First, you will need a good pair of gloves. These are like a really nice pair of buckskin gloves. You will need wire cutters. You will need craft wire. There actually is such a thing as florist's wire, I believe, and or wreath wire. However, I don't have any of that because I'm broke. I can't just go buy it. So I'm just going to use this basic black craft wire, which also works. So whatever you got around the house wire-wise. So, and I've also got some of these twisty tie things that came from like every time like someone purchased, or every time I purchased like extension cords or headphones or something like that, and like the product is actually twisty tied to the cardboard backing on it. I always save these because they're very handy. So, and also they don't tend to stab you in the finger quite as much when you're working with them. So, and you will also need a little pair of needle nose pliers for wire manipulation purposes. And of course, last but not least, you will need a beer. At least I prefer to have a beer. And you'll also need your cutters. So, I'll get back to you in just a few moments. Yeah, I decided to get this this metal tub. I'm going to like wrap a vine like towards going like in the inside of the tub. I figure it would help it hold its shape while I'm working with it. And you can, of course, I'm going to take it in and out as I'm working with it, but it's like a nice place to put it where it'll have to hold its shape until I can get like some wire wrapped onto a piece or something like that. So, but here's what I'm starting with. I'm starting with a piece that's kind of long, and it's got some like, I guess, small to medium-sized long vines on it. And it's got a whole bunch of these curly cues. I love these curly cues. And I'm starting with a rather long, very skinny vine for wrapping around and finishing afterwards. And of course I can keep adding on and adding on as much as I want, but this is just what I'm starting with. Okay, I got so far, but you can see right here where I started. And I put a wire, and it looks like it needs to be tightened again already. And then, not too far after that, I put another wire. Your first few wirings are going to actually be rather close together. Just so that the inside part of your wreath is good and stable, also because these thicker pieces tend to want to fling up. They don't want to hold the shape that you put them in. They're tougher, they're stiffer, and they can fly up and whack you in the face if you're not careful. Just saying. And you can see I've gone around a couple of times, and I've begun to weave. I've begun to wrap the vine over top of itself, and you have to pull it through the hole to do that. And while you're doing that, actually, be careful not to put your face too close to the wreath because you want to. You're going to end up having it close. Like I put mine like up on my hip, and hug it with my elbow, and then pull the other vine through with my left hand. And as a consequence, actually a few vines came very close to my face, and I really don't want to get hit in the eye, so I'm just giving you guys the heads up. And pretty soon I'm going to be sticking it into the tub to just kind of help it hold its shape while I wrap smaller vines around it. So, just showing you guys what's going on. And I did end up taking my gloves off, at my own risk, obviously. They were just kind of in the way, and they make it tough to be able to wire every time I want to wire, so I took them off. So, alright, I'll get back with you guys in a few minutes. Alright, I've gotten a little farther. It's a little thin still. I want it to be more full. But I just wanted to point out to you guys that, like, all these, like, little extra stems and twisty things and curly cues and gnarled places, don't trim those off. Keep them on there because they're handy for helping the wreath twigs lock into each other so that you don't have to use as much wire. In fact, last time I was using the camera and talking to you guys, I stopped using wire. I didn't have to. This is held together strictly just on its own, just by itself. And I made a boo-boo because it's actually not going to fit down in the bottom of this tub. But that's okay. So, it's actually quite round on its own. It's a very nice circle shape. So that's what's going on right now. And I'll get a little bit farther. I'm going to try and get to the inside part, kind of filled in a little better. The area toward that points towards the middle. I'm going to work on that, and I'll get back with you guys soon, I guess. Okay, so I thickened it up a little bit. Really all you have to do is take one end of your piece of vine and force it into the wreath so that sticks and is stuck. And then just find another sort of shape it in, and then find another spot where you can shove the other end in and it'll stick. The vine will maintain its tension if you do this right. So that's really all you have to do. And now the final step, and I think this is important actually, is to take a skinny long vine and wrap like a spiral around the wreath to help hold all of this mess together. So, especially when you've got several pieces that are just kind of inserted in. So, my dad's leaving, that's what this car sound is. So, alright, I'm going to get busy wrapping, and I will get back with you guys in just a minute. And it's done. I wrapped it going both ways, just to give it some extra stability. And really, all that's left to do is to hang it someplace in the garage where it will dry up nicely. Little curly cues are so cute. I really do love them. I'll do a part 2 when it's time to decorate it. Until then, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to like and share. Goodbye.